Hello, emerging and evolving leaders. I'm Christine Rozier, host of the Irrelevant Leader podcast and founder of the Leadership Collaborative and Rozier Retreats. My platforms are dedicated to expanding the pool of exceptional leaders. I'm honored to be your leadership expert today. I believe that every person has the potential to become an extraordinary leader, and in doing so, significantly impact the lives of others. Extraordinary leadership begins with mindset. Relevant leaders are committed to developing the qualities necessary to successfully lead others, qualities that are cultivated and refined over time. Throughout the Irrelevant Leader podcast series, some of the world's most relevant leaders and I examine the behaviors and characteristics of irrelevant leaders. Tune in as we dig deep into identifying what goes wrong when a leader moves down the path from powerful leadership to ineffectual leadership. Join me for live call-in sessions, one-on-one interviews, and thought leadership segments as high-profile leaders and I explore what it takes for you to avoid the blight of dreaded irrelevancy and outline how you can achieve and maintain your place among the world's most profound and relevant leaders. Thank you again for listening. Let's get to today's episode. Welcome. Last week, we began exploring self-awareness as one of the primary pillars of emotional intelligence. This week, I'd like to continue our discussion related to self-awareness from the lens of belief and perspective. What is a belief? Merriam-Webster defines belief as a state or habit of the mind in which trust or confidence is placed on a person or thing. Basically, a belief is a habitual, repetitive thought. Neuroscience tells us that when we think a thought often enough, it essentially forms what could be likened to a groove in the brain. Future-related thoughts then automatically return to those familiar grooves. Once we establish a belief, we continuously find evidence to support that belief. This forms our perspective and how we see the world. Our actions and behavior are a direct result of the perspectives and viewpoints that are formed through these repetitive thoughts and beliefs. The outcome of our behavior then strengthens our belief, and round we go. So many of our beliefs come from others and were introduced to us during our formative years. We can also establish a belief as the result of one particular experience that had a negative outcome. If we think the same reoccurring thoughts about the experience, it forms a belief. It's not often that we think about investigating what and why we believe what we believe. So much of the time, we operate from default beliefs that are not necessarily even benefiting us. For anyone wanting to truly develop self-awareness, you must be willing to examine not only what it is that you believe, but also the origin and impact of the beliefs that you have. It's easy to get stuck in a belief and consider it as being right. Once we move into a right or wrong polarity, we have eradicated the possibility that there might be several valid perspectives, answers, or solutions. When we get trapped in the need to be right, we shut down and abolish any possibility of resolution. So much of the time, conflict arises when each individual is attempting to force the other into believing in a particular way. The topic of belief and perspective often comes up in the leadership classes that I teach. Inevitably, the discussion slips into the area of right and wrong. My comments are always the same. Given each individual's childhood, life experience, education, background, etc., which form their beliefs and perspective, everyone believes they are right. I'm not saying that there is no such thing as a right answer or way of approaching a situation or issue. What I am saying is that without understanding what creates beliefs, perspectives, and behaviors, you will be less effective in your relationships. Some of the clients I work with see the world through the lens of either or extremes. Like many of us, their default perspective is based solely on their beliefs. Therefore, they cannot see the sometimes endless possibilities between only two options. Adopting a regular practice of identifying, questioning, and perhaps reframing your own beliefs will enhance your effectiveness as a leader. Thoroughly investigating where your beliefs came from, what influence is this belief having on your relationship, discovering why you maintain this belief, and determining the overall impact it's having on your life will provide you with the opportunity to establish new beliefs and perspectives, which drive new behaviors and therefore new outcomes. As a leader, you will be faced with numerous belief systems of the people that you lead. To be effective, you must understand and respect why people believe as they do. When you're better able to understand the nature of your own beliefs, you will be better able to comprehend why two people looking at the same issue can have completely different perspectives. From this standpoint, you have the opportunity to choose to approach a situation from the standpoint of curiosity. Curiosity shifts you from being closed and having limited possibilities to being open to exploring numerous possibilities. Ask yourself, do I have certain beliefs about my team members, peers, leaders, customers, or clients? If so, do those beliefs serve you and others, or are those beliefs causing tension in your relationships? Do you believe that there is only one way to accomplish a task or a project? Is that belief actually true? Are you willing to move into curiosity? The question for each of us is not if we are right or wrong. The question is, are the outcomes which result from your behaviors, which are driven by your perspectives, which are formed by your beliefs, delivering you with the results that you would like to experience in your life? If the answer is no, then consider implementing the practice of conducting a belief inventory and perhaps adopting new habits of the mind. Thank you for joining me, Christine Rozier, and the Irrelevant Leader podcast series. Remember this, you are more extraordinary and capable than you think. To become the leader you aspire to be, you need the right tools and support to assist you in developing and maintaining the characteristics found in great and relevant leaders. That's why I host the Irrelevant Leader podcast, direct the year-long leadership collaborative, and Rozier Leadership Retreats. Visit the website at christinerozier.com, that's spelled ROSIER, to learn more. Check out the podcast page for upcoming live events and interviews with amazing, relevant leaders. If you're not already on the mailing list, then please sign up to join me and this powerful network of exceptional leaders.